Please listen up for your name.
Yes, sir.
Connie. Abdul Bassett. Elizabeth. Yasmin. Sydney. Abigail. Kamari. Devin. Justin. Zane. Nathaniel. Dylan. Amna. Andre. Josiah. Again, good morning. Please go out to my website as we normally do, hueglin.net, and look at the agenda. I have it up on the board, but I want you to look at it personally. I'll wait for everybody to get there. Do you have a question?
What did we do yesterday?
We worked on motherboard identification components, the same thing we worked on last week.
I did.
All right, so if you notice on the agenda, we're going to be doing the same thing that we talked about yesterday. We talked about motherboard parts, pieces, components, of what's going on with those, right? I've had some of these laid out on the table. I know some of y'all, when you first came into class, were reviewing those. The objectives today, as you see on the website, are identifying motherboard components, explain the importance of those motherboard components, their purpose, and their properties. So when I have you come up to my kind of assessment testing table, I'm going to be asking you different questions like, hey, where is the processor? And not just where is the processor, but tell me a little bit about that processor. What does it do? What is its purpose? What is its function? Why is it there? Okay, things of that nature. You know, what is memory? What's the purpose of memory? Where does it get installed on the motherboard? I actually, just as I showed yesterday, may have you actually install a memory stick or connect the power supply to the motherboard. It can happen. So be ready for that. I'll be calling you up individually, randomly, for, again, just a kind of a hands-on assessment, just to show that you not only know knowledge base-wise of what some parts and pieces are, but also that you can identify those and then do something with those. So for example, VGA cable, which connects your monitor to the motherboard. Can you identify that cable, and then can you connect it to the motherboard? Sydney. Come on down, please. So you're going to be standing right here. So you have a motherboard over there, part A, and one that's B. I'm just going to ask you to identify a few things. Okay. Do you feel any stress or pressure? No? Just identifying some parts. Okay, so where's a hard drive on the table? Okay, good. And what about a RAM stick? Can you take that piece of RAM and install it in one of the motherboards? Actually, motherboard B. So notice how there's the part here, there's a notch there. Yeah. How about the CMOS panel? That's great. Where would that go on motherboard B? That's correct. How about connecting the speaker port? The speaker. So one of these cables up here is a speaker cable. Okay. And I want you to connect it to B. If you need to disconnect the okay, good. Disconnect. Last one is identify heat sink. Anywhere on the table when it heats. That's correct. Okay, great, thank you. Table, power supply. So it gives power to the computer, to the motherboard. That is. So this cable here, actually, this is the power supply. This cable goes to the guess? Or did you know it? What about what about a processor? Where's a processor located? Anywhere on the? That's correct. Yeah, that's a processor. That's a processor. So this is actually the processor chip. Go here. Okay, socket. Okay, good. I have a speaker. Actually, I have a speaker cord, a cable that's on this table that needs to be connected to this motherboard so I can get sound. Go ahead and find the cable and connect it to the speaker. Make sure. Okay, good. Okay, good. And notice the colors match up, green for green. Can you tell me what the pink interface is for on that motherboard? What's the purpose of that? So this here, this pink interface on that jack. Well, the speaker was just above it. This is actually for a microphone. So if we had a microphone and we wanted to have our voice or sing or talk, have that input into the computer, we launch that. Okay. And which one of these is a VGA cable? Identify VGA cable. One of those cables is a VGA cable. That's correct. That's correct. And what's, by the way, what's that for? What's the purpose of that VGA cable? Connect the monitor. Okay. Okay. Do you have any other questions about anything? Okay, thank you. All right. Where is a motherboard on this table? Okay. Where's the brains of a computer found? Yes. And what is that called? CPU? And what's that stand for?
Central processor.
Good. Very good. Get you a bonus right there on that one. Awesome. What about a power supply? Where's that located? On this table somewhere.
Here.
Well, no, that is where the power supply actually gets connected to the motherboard. But where is the actual? Yes, that's the actual power supply.
I thought you.
Which one of those interfaces would I use to connect the power supply? Good. And where would that go on the motherboard again? Good. Okay. And RAM. Where's RAM located? Okay. And where is that located on the motherboard? Okay. What's the purpose of that? Why do I need RAM?
RAM is for extra space for quick processing.
Okay.
Quick data usage, I guess.
What happens to the memory or the information that's stored on the RAM whenever I turn the power off on the computer?
It gets wiped.
It's wiped out, right? Is there another device on this table that when you turn the power off, the information does not go away? Excellent. What is that called?
A hard drive.
Did great. Outstanding. Thank you. Where does that go? Green one, right? It's green. Perfect. Outstanding. Last question for a bonus. Where is a cooling fan? Cooling fan.
Right here.
Okay, can you point specifically to the cooling fan itself? Have you ever used my hall fan?
Right here.
See the fan?
Yeah.
Same concept, okay. So tell me what the purpose of having that cooling fan is for. Why do we need it?
So it could
outlet, you're right, to cool something down, cool down.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
What gets very hot that needs to be cooled down? Can you point to it? What gets very hot that needs to get cooled down?
This one.
That's that one right there. Okay, what goes in there? You just pointed to it. What, no. Yes, what goes in there?
This one.
But what actually sits in there that goes on the bottom of all that?
Motherboard.
What is that called?
CPU.
CPU, good. And what's CPU stand for? Central
Center. I don't.
Processing.
Yeah, processing.
So again, this sits here, and then this on top of this. Okay. CPU gets very hot. That draws the heat up off the CPU, and then this pulls the heat off of this and exhausts it out of it. Okay. So, oh, it's stuck. Any questions? You good? Okay, thank you. What is that called, by the way? For a chance at redemption, what is that called? CMOS battery. Okay. And what's the purpose of the CMOS battery? Why do we have a battery in a computer on the motherboard? It's not a laptop, it's a regular desktop. Why don't we have a battery in it? What's the purpose? To store the settings. So it's system configuration information. So it doesn't go away when it loses power.
Okay.
Memory or RAM. Where's RAM on the table? Looking for a stick of RAM. That is where it gets installed. Good. Now, where's the actual physical piece that goes in here? Where's that on the table? Good. Excellent. Last question. I've got a speaker. I want to connect to my motherboard. It's one of these cables over here. It's a speaker cable. Connected to the motherboard.
Do I have to find a board in here?
Well, you have to find one of the cables here, and then where it gets installed, plugged into on the motherboard. So that's the power supply.
Well, I mean this, like, this?
So it's this one here,
You say the speaker?
speaker cable. And where would that get plugged into the motherboard?
3 of those.
Which one of those?
The green one?
That's correct. The green. Good. Good. Cover it. Outstanding. Okay, that was all the way. Bonus question for you. You've got a microphone, which I don't have a microphone or a cable on the board, but can you point to where that microphone will get installed? Where would I put that microphone interface? On the motherboard.
Because this one.
This one right here, the pink one. Okay. So this is for the microphone, this is for a speaker, and this one's for the auxiliary. Okay. You have any other questions?
No.
All right, thank you. The old Lexus, Mr. Lexus, okay, that's fine. Just make sure you take it off. If I can write you one real quick, Mark. All right, Kamari. Just kidding.